New Year has arrived, everyone is so hyped up, super motivated, inspired, and in all that enthusiasm, we often lose ourselves. We bite off more than we can chew. After a few unsuccessful New Year's resolutions, I think I figured it out. I think I figured out what is the root of our inability to stick to what we said we will do this year. You're wondering what it is? Well, I already mentioned it. We bite off more than we can chew. Let me explain. So, why do you think that the 1st of January 2020 is any different than, let's say, 14th of December 2019? Well, it's not. Basically, you have same 24 hours, you're still as busy, you're still as undisciplined, you're probably still on the same job, and nothing has really changed except for the date. The only thing that's changed is date. So, why do you think that all of a sudden in the 1st of January 2020 it's gonna be a new you, the more motivated, more energetic, more disciplined? New Year itself won't make you a better, kinder, more productive person. However, it does increase our motivation. So we take on all these big changes, and that's where the issue lies. That is the mistake. You're not disciplined enough to jump right into all these big changes regarding your fitness, your uh, career, your relationships. And if you set all these big goals, you're just not going to achieve them. Like, you will stick to them for a few days or weeks at max, and then everything is going to crumble apart. The point I'm trying to make is, instead of making a massive commitment and only doing it partially for the next week or two, how about you use this New Year's motivation to slowly grow your discipline? Let me elaborate. You most likely have heard this before, but start small. I didn't believe it at first either. I would always think of small things as insignificant, like what can 1 minute of reading change? What can 20 minutes of walking instead of taking the bus change? What can eating one healthier thing a day change? Well, it can change a lot, and I mean a lot. First and foremost, changes your mindset. Secondly, it alters your habits. And lastly, it gives you a sense of accomplishment. You realize that small things do matter, that even a slight motion in the right direction is better than being stationary, as it gets you a step closer to your goal. In order to create new habits, you need to alter the old ones. Adding a new habit doesn't have to mean getting completely rid of old ones. No, it just means reducing the time spent on that particular habit while working your way to get completely rid of it. It feels good to check off those to-dos or goals, doesn't it? Well, even reading for 1 minute is an accomplishment, and you should treat it as such. Okay, so let's put this into action. So first, you will have to come up with something that you would like to introduce into your life. It can be anything like reading books, working out, eating healthier, going to sleep at the right time, and so on. For the sake of this video, we will take reading books. Okay. Next off is have a why. You need to know why you're doing something. Well, because if you don't know why you're doing it, like, don't do it. What's the point? Okay? So for reading, it could be escaping reality, self-development, learning a new skill. After you found out your why for something, what you want to do is set a minimum requirement for a task or habit for it to be considered a success. We could say the minimum requirement for reading every day this week is 1 page or 1 paragraph a day. That's it, you're done. At the start, you will often find yourself either forgetting to do it throughout the day or not feeling like it, but really all you have to do is pick up a book and read 1 paragraph. If you can't make yourself even do this, then lower the standard. Set it to 1 row, or for God's sake, even picking up a book and holding it for a few seconds will do. Next off is make time for the task at hand. Find a time that works for you and write it down next to your minimum requirement. Before bed, on a lunch break, while commuting, anything that works for you. Set yourself a weekly daily goal habit checklist, such as this one that you can see right now. The reason I'm having such a simple checklist is because it really doesn't have to get any more complex than that. It's all there next to each other. I track 7 days, and that's really all I need. It's either a yes or a no. And above those checkboxes, I can write the exact amount of minutes I have worked out for, or how many pages I've read. After a week is over, take your checklist and evaluate it. If you find that you couldn't really stick to it, lower the standards, lower the requirements. If you did it more than 50% of the time, good, raise the requirements. However, you will often find yourself reading more than what your minimum requirement is set at, so track that as well. Write down how much you read. It's a good bonus. Starting small doesn't mean staying small or thinking small. I believe it is so important to dream big, but have the guts to realize it is impossible to do something in such a short time span that you would like to do it in. And rather than quitting it altogether if it's not doable in that short time span, plan it out accordingly and stick to the smaller tasks and work it out eventually. That's it, folks. It's as simple as that. Now you can work with one habit at a time or more than that. It really depends on you. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me on any social media or email me and comment down below.